First Watch Now.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch on 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Hello, everyone.
And Carol's not with us this morning.
And so I'm back in her seat. So I keep her seat warm when she's not here. But, yeah, she's off. She got back late from Tucson last night and some stuff. So we got a big op coming up. So she's been buried this week. Let me just say that. So she texted Grady and I last night saying she wouldn't be here, but I get to move into her seat. It's just never the same. But either way, I'm sitting here. You know,
it's not the same when she's not here.
No.
Well, let's start off with Cochise County football. Last week you had the week off, but you're back at it tonight.
We're back at it. Jeff and I and Val will be in Cienega tonight. Cienega High School, which is a Vail High School. Cienega's been pretty much a powerhouse program. Down a little bit this year, no doubt about it, but they're still a decent team. They'll be playing Buena, which is playing good, playing really good ball, sitting at 6-1. So this will be a good game. So hopefully you tune in at 6:30 for pregame, 7 o'clock for a kickoff of the game. But we'll talk about a lot of the past history with these two teams. So it should be a really good game. Second to that, though, we got a lot of good 2A games. That's Tombstone and Bisbee playing tonight. They're playing in Bisbee, but besides being a county rival, it kind of dictates who's going to take the league tonight with Bisbee and Tombstone. Both are kind of the predicted ones that win the conference. Tankerverdy's kind of putting an edge on that, Tankerverde High School. But either way, it'll be a good game. Kind of settles the water because everybody's been talking who's better, Tombstone or Bisbee. That'll be a well-attended, that'll be a knockout fight for both high schools, and I wish them both well on that.
And tonight you can listen to the game on KWCD. They have an app if you'd like to download it. It's KWCD in your app store. But then also the pregame is at 6:30. The kickoff is at 7 o'clock. Sheriff Mark Daniels calling the game. Make sure you listen to it tonight. And before we leave football or sports, I want to talk about the Diamondbacks. Can we mention the Diamondbacks?
We got to mention the Diamondbacks. Now, I'm a Cubs fan, so you won't hear a lot from me. I'm just going to throw that since they knocked my Cubs out of the wild card. But what a team that stepped up. They're playing with all heart. They're a young team, but they have nothing to lose. And they came back last night, won it in the ninth, bases loaded. They just did what they had to do, especially after being knocked out the first two games, and people were pretty down on the Diamondbacks because that's how we are. We like to jump right away when something's not working right. But they came back. They won it last night. They're playing again today. I think kickoff. I think the first pitch is at 5 o'clock. So, again, should be a good game for the Diamondbacks. Let's cheer them on. But also on sports, we got to give a shout-out to two of our 1A schools, which are 8-man football, and that's St. David. They're playing San Manuel in the first round of the playoffs, and St. David's got a tough program over there, but they're down a little bit this year too. But again, they're in the playoffs, whole new season. And Valley Union in Elfrida, they've made the playoff. I mean, this is a team that struggled for the last several years. They got second-year Coach Hill over there, and they're going to the playoffs. They're going up to Colorado City. They left yesterday, and I saw a little clip on them with their bus and the kids out there waving. This is huge for Elfrida, so good luck to Valley Union as they go to Colorado City. They'll be playing tonight in the first round of the 1A playoffs, which is a small schools conference.
Well, let's jump into last weekend. We were at the Butterfield Days Parade. That was fun in Benson.
It was. It was a very, very small parade. Now, I remember this parade used to be packed. I don't know what's happened over the last several years, but either way, the people that came out, we had a good time, Grady. You and I were in that parade, and it's always nice to see the people in the communities coming out and enjoying a lot of fire trucks. We were there. The police chief was out there with us. I mean, it was a decent parade. It really was. And but again, that was their days, their time to celebrate. And moving into that, Tombstone is Eldorado this weekend.
Yeah, that parade's going to be a lot of fun too. And not only that, but Eldorado Days is the weekend, but Sunday's the parade. But they have a special guest coming this year.
They do. They have a real special guest, and I'm going to yield back to you. You're kind of like the movie star here, being the DJ all these years. But they do have a special guest. But let me go back for Eldorado. I remember the days with Eldorado that we used to work details over there. That's how big it was. And when it was a knockout, drag-out for the deputies to work that and Tombstone to work that. But we all look forward to it every year back in the 80s and early 90s. I'm not trying to show my age here, but it's calmed down a lot. It's very family-driven now, which is a good thing. But, yes, they got to get two guests tonight. They got two guests. And Bobby Kerrigan's one of them, and that's the leader of the Nerds
Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes,
yeah.
he's a leader, and Bobby's a great guy. I had dinner with him months ago up in Reno, and then met him down here a couple of years ago. But he's supposed to be coming in today, and if you haven't met him, he's just a great guy. And once you see him, you'll know exactly who he is. But he was one of the two co-stars for the Nerds, and we all people forget because this is kind of a past generation. That's our generation, Grady. But that was filmed at Tucson High and also the University of Arizona, which was named Adams College. So I still say that to people, and they look at me like, "What's that mean?" They don't get it. I'm just getting old. But Adams College. So hopefully we'll see him this weekend. And also, who else is going to be here, Grady?
Barry Corbin. And he's famous for, in the 80s, he was like the background actor in a lot of, he was like Bad Guy of the Week in the A-Team or Magnum P.I., those kind of shows. So he was all over the place. But he was also in a movie that you love.
The War Games.
War Games, yeah.
He was in War Games. And I looked at him, and he's aged a little bit like we all have, but I looked at him, I looked him up when Gordon Anderson, who's going to be on the show here in a few minutes, but when Gordon put it out who was coming from Tombstone, and I'm like, I looked him up. I went, wait, that's the guy from War Games. That was the general from War Games. Yeah. But he's a secondary actor, but he was involved in everything. Everybody knew him, who he was, and but I loved him more again. I thought he was just this big, tough general, and it was a great show.
Yeah, make sure you Google him, Barry Corbin, and you'll recognize him right away. And go, oh, yeah, I know this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's going to be doing a one-man show Saturday night, and Gordon's going to talk about this in a little bit. He'll be doing a one-man show on Saturday night, and then he'll be in the parade on Sunday for El Dorado Days. So.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. It truly is.
All right, and also, I mean, this weekend is going to be busy with a lot of stuff. Let's see if we can get into some of these. Tomorrow is the Fallen Hero Ride.
Right. These are some retired military, current military, law enforcement, retired law enforcement, and they go around the state and they do rides. And tomorrow at 7:30, they'll be grouping up. You can ride with them. So if you're looking for something to do tomorrow and you have a motorcycle, so tomorrow morning at the Sheriff's Office in Sierra Vista, which is located across the street from the new hospital, Canyon Vista, at 7:30 in the morning, they'll line up. 8 o'clock, they're going to do a short brief at the Sheriff's Office in honor of fallen hero Jeffrey Brown. Jeff was killed back in the Miracle Valley back in the 80s. He was the last deputy to be killed in the line of duty, so we have a little memorial there if you haven't been over there. So they're going to do that event for him, honor him, then they're going to take off. It'll be brief, and they'll probably be out there by 8:20, 8:25. But I want to thank them for doing these motorcycle riders coming out here to do that and honor Jeff Brown and his family. Let's never forget that.
And also tomorrow in Sierra Vista, it's the Relay for Life.
Relay for Life from 2 in the afternoon till 10 o'clock tomorrow night. So, again, we all know somebody's had cancer, somebody's fallen from cancer, somebody survived cancer, somebody battling cancer. That's what it's all about tomorrow, is the community uniting for against cancer. Truly is. And remember those that have lost their loved ones and support them too. So that's at 2 o'clock at Veterans Park in Sierra Vista. Jeff Davenport and I will be emceeing that. Then Jeff has another event in the evening. So, but either way, come on out. It's a great day to come together for that. It's going to be a big one.
And then in Bisbee tomorrow, it's the Bisbee 1000.
Bisbee 1000. So the streets will be lined up with 1,500 plus people participating in that. It's kind of this little hidden gem, but that's a lot of people. Well, that's over a third of their population. But they're roaming the streets of Bisbee, and I've had the honor over the years to start the races. I think this year they're running 8 races, so I have the starting pistol. I got to tell you a funny story. My first year I did this, and I was counting it down. I used to count down with 10, 9, 8, and I hit the starting. I got down to 0. Hit the starting pistol for everybody to go in the first race. Well, the gun didn't go off. The blank didn't go off.
No.
The blanks didn't go off. And the organizer, Cynthia, who I give a big shout out for doing all this for many years, Cynthia looked at me and goes, "Isn't it supposed to be louder?" I go, "It didn't go off." "Go, everybody, go," because it just didn't go. But either way, that's tomorrow, and that race starts at 9 in the morning. So you can see I got a quick turnaround from the tribute for Jeff Brown down to the Bisbee 1000.
And then we head to Douglas tomorrow with the barbecue.
The barbecue. There's the First Responders Barbecue tomorrow in Douglas. It's going to be in front of the Gaddison Hotel from 11 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And this is put on by the Sheriff's Office, the Fire Department, the Police Department, all the different public safety agencies. And my guys are very big. They're all excited about this. They're all planning this. There'll be a judging at 2 o'clock. But it's a big event. I was going to be one of the judges, but unfortunately I have to be back here for Relay for Life, so I'm going to miss that. But I know Commander Kenny Bradshaw will be one of the judges and some other folks down there. But it's to raise money for the community food bank. Great cause. Once again, you got law enforcement, sheriff's office, firefighters giving back to the community through this event. So if you got nothing going on, you want to take a ride with the Fallen Heroes and break off and run down to Douglas and get some lunch. I mean, there's a lot going on. A lot you can give back to the community just by participating tomorrow.
And they're helping the Douglas and Pierce food banks.
Yes. So, I forgot to put Pierce. Yes, Pierce is involved in that too.
Yeah. It's going to be a great thing. That's tomorrow in Douglas. And speaking of Douglas, we need to give a shout out to Ann English.
Ann English just received an award, and for the Lifetime Achievement Award for the Douglas business community. And let me just say, I'm not trying to age myself again, but when I got hired back in the 80s, Ann was on the Board of Supervisors. Then she went off for a little bit, and then she came back on, I think a term later. But Ann's been on the board a long time. And you hear the comments, wow, Ann English this, Ann English that. That's an opinion I respect. But I will say this: she has served this county, this community, the network within Cochise County for many, many years. So, Ann, thank you. I sent her a text when that happened, just congratulating her for her service, her public safety service, and she was humbled. All I'm doing is what I like to do, and all I'm doing is what the people elected me to do. Yeah, that's Ann. You got to know Ann.
Right,
yeah. Ann's very black and white. She says it how it is, and whether you agree or disagree, that's how she is. But I just want to give her a shout out this morning for all her public service to this community, the citizens, and just being a dedicated individual.
We've got an event coming up with the Sheriff's Office in about 2 weeks, and it's the Cochise County Sheriff's Charity Ride, and this year you're giving away $50,000.
We are, and we're encouraging people to still sign up on this one. We're excited. We want to thank our partners. I always say this: Lawley's Automotive, Sean Lawley and Bob Santa Maria over there. Also, Jay over at the American Southwest Credit Union. Those are our partners. People forget that because the Sheriff's Department, we promote it, now we put it on, but they're our partners. We couldn't do it without them. And then all the community businesses. But we're giving out $50,000, and I'll give them. These are our charities: Good Neighbor Alliance, Hearts of Gold, Animal Haven, Warrior Healing Project, Animal Rescue Connection, and Real Wishes Foundation. All 5 groups do so much for the community, so we want to make sure we give them a shout out. And if you're interested in joining and entering your motorcycle, side-by-side, or Jeeps or off-road vehicle, go to cochise.az.gov/sheriff. And join us, come out and have some fun with us, but you don't have to be there for the raffle prizes.
And the raffle prizes are simply amazing. They're like gun safes and large toolboxes. I mean, everything's like $500 or more.
It is, and Sergeant Ray McNeely, on the heels of Alex and Hatfield, who started this program 11 years ago, they just, it gets better every year. So hopefully we'll see you out there. I know they do a parade that pulls out of the Nissan Lawley Nissan dealership onto Friday Boulevard and heads down there. It's not an official parade. I'm just going to make that comment. But we all leave together, and it's really cool. And this year I got a call from law enforcement technology or law enforcement. I'm not saying that right. But either way, it's the largest law enforcement shared magazine radio throughout the nation. They're going to come down and film our event.
Nice. Because,
there's so much in the news about what's not working, the crime, things like that. This is a positive story. So they're going to be riding, they're going to be filming. So if you see, and they want to talk to our vets, our former military, and the citizens about all the good things we're doing and what this event's all about, and that's a community event. That's community policing at its best. So they're going to be there too, and again, I'm really excited for her. 2 weeks on November 4th.
And what's cool is every year we make a charity ride coin, and I got to tell everybody, I can't give away a spoiler, but this year's coin is going to be something special.
I'm glad you brought that up, because we have a thing in our sheriff's office from every year, the 11 years we've done that, or 10 years we've done that. The T-shirt, the coin, we've done some really cool things.
Yes.
And I hear this year, I hadn't even seen it, Grady, but I hear it's really cool.
It is really cool.
So
that's coming up. So the charity ride, make sure you go check it out online, cochise.az.gov/sheriff. It's also pinned to the top of the Sheriff's Facebook page. Make sure you find out more information and get your tickets so you can get in the ride. Again, that's coming up in just 2 weeks. All right, so that's the charity ride. Let's get to an update from our officer who went to the hospital a couple of weeks ago.
So Chris Oleski was the officer that was injured, and I talked to him and his wife and his brother yesterday. He is still in the hospital. He's under a rehab-type facility for therapy, trying to learn how to walk and some other things. So he's great-spirited. If you know Chris, and those that know this will totally understand that. I mean, he's the most optimistic person. We don't know the final diagnosis when it comes to him coming back to work or what's going to happen there, but I can tell you this much. He's got the right attitude. He's in great shape. He's got great family support. If anybody can do it, he can. So we're all praying. We're all still hoping to get him back on the road. And I'll just say this. Several weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, whatever it was, Commander Watkins, his sergeant, Todd Lindahl, myself, actually went up there and presented him his badge again. He's laying in the bed, said, here's your badge. Put this under your gown, and don't the nurses get this from you, and we'll see you back. So we're really hoping to get him back. I mean, he's just a true community hero, and so is his brother Josh. Just so people relate this, a lot of people don't realize, Josh is a Border Patrol agent, and he was the agent attacked a little over a year ago up on a trail south of Sierra Vista in the Hereford area of the Chucas, where early in the morning, out there doing his job, he was attacked by 2 illegals. They tried to harm him. They tried to cut his throat. I'll just throw that out there. He fought them off for quite a considerable amount of time. They picked the wrong agent to mess with, just like our deputy picked the wrong deputy to mess with. But Josh, his brother, fought them off until backup arrived. So again, 2, and they're both former military. Chris is a retired Marine. So again, shout out to both of them, and we're thinking about them. We don't just want to forget them, and just because they have been in the news, we want to make sure that they know the community and I are still thinking about them and their law enforcement friends and family.
And we're going to be stepping things up on the border. As a matter of fact, we're calling it Safe Streets 2. Tell us about that.
Yeah, you're going to see a press conference in the next few days, early next week, where we're going to do an enhanced operation. I'm going to be spending the day today finalizing all those op plans, but you're going to see a pretty impressive saturation here in Cochise County. You know, I made a comment after 2 of our deputies were hurt. We had a Tombstone Marshal deputy that was hurt all through interdiction, and what we've seen over the last pushing 2 years now is unacceptable. And you heard me say enough is enough. Well, those words are cheap unless you have some action behind them. So we're pushing action behind them, something we've never done in Cochise County, through my fellow sheriffs, through the state, and we're coming. We're coming. So if you're in the mindset that you can come to Cochise County and terrorize and put my citizens at risk, you're going to have a new thing coming here real soon. So we're coming back at this border interdiction. It's all about sending consequences. It's all about prevention, but most important, it's about protecting our citizens and stopping this madness.
If you go to the Cochise County Sheriff's Facebook page, you're going to find some documents about a scam that's happening right now, and we want to make sure that nobody gets caught by a scam.
You know, I hear people that lose money through scams, and it's always sad to hear that, because these scammers, they're so hard to get. It's kind of the endless game with no consequences, because we can't find them. A lot of times they're in third world countries. They're in places you just can't get them, and so we got this scam going on now where they call on behalf, and the phone numbers they use, which is all computerized, shows it's a local number. Don't let that scare you. Don't let that shake you. Oh, this is real. It's a local number. But they call you with a local number, and then they identify themselves as a real sheriff's department, sheriff's office employee, or Sierra Vista PED employee, saying that you have a warrant or we need money from you, whatever the scam may be. We're not going to call and tell you that. If you owe us money, we'll come see you. You'll get documentations that support that. I just had one of the retired military service members here that's big in our military service club, where they called and said, hey, you just won a Mercedes. You won a Mercedes. We're bringing it to you. Here's your confirmation number. We're from, I think it was Florida. And him and I, he called me right away. This about a week ago. We stayed in touch. I said, don't give him any information. I haven't. He goes, but they said they're coming. Let them come. Let them come. So they called him. Everything they said, we'll be there Monday. Sure enough, Monday they call, hey, we're going to be in your state. We're coming through the state line. But they throw some flags up. They're coming across Gallup, New Mexico. Well, they're coming from Florida. Why would they go all the way up to Gallup? Didn't make any sense. Then they called and said, hey, we're stuck at the law enforcement checkpoint. Well, we all know what our checkpoints are called. They're not law enforcement checkpoints. But either way, so they said, hey, can you give us $300 so we can get through the checkpoint? We didn't expect this. That's where the scam came from. And I said, don't send them nothing. And by the way, if they do show up, which odds are they won't, but they do, call 911 because we want these guys. So again, they never showed up. He didn't send the money. They went away, and we kept a victim safe.
A checkpoint headed south? So yeah. There's another red flag.
Yes, they're all over the place, but they don't know. But to somebody that's trusting, which most of our society truly is trusting, especially when it comes to government, law enforcement, sure, they'll give that information. But don't give information over the phone, folks. Call law enforcement, and we'll work into it. We'll tell you if it's legit or not.
And one baseline for every scam is if someone calls you Do not give them information. And then you can hang up and call numbers you know. I mean, go look them up online to the sheriff's office or the Cedar Vista Police Department and call back and say, "Is this can I speak to that officer?" And that if they call you, just don't give any information. Period. Bottom line.
Exactly, Grady. And if you give them something, once it gets you into the hook, it gets worse from there. So please don't.
And even if you feel like you've been a victim, let law enforcement know. Don't be embarrassed. We still need to know so we can put it out for other people.
And there's possibility we could maybe be able to do something. We don't know, but at least let us know. And again, what we do on a lot of these scams is, even like this one here I'm putting out, it's educational and it's awareness and prevention all in one. So please give that to us and let us look into it.
And let's talk about a grant that we got called Heal the Hero.
Heal the Hero is a grant that it began out of the military and now into public safety. It's a grant we got through the state of Arizona, and that grant is to help law enforcement. It's brain therapy. Let me just say it. I'm going to say it in a very generic way. It's brain therapy. We got 2 machines here. Yes, we got 2 of our rooms, one set up in Cedar Vista, the other one set up in our main headquarters in Bisbee, where it helps those kind of reset the brain. And we see the worst of the worst when it comes to citizens. It's for all public safety, and it's a 6-month program. My guys got it all set up. A few of my guys are already into it, and we work with doctors out of Phoenix area. But they kind of just heals your brain. And I can't go into a lot because I'm not. It's neuroscience beyond the scope of being what I do. But the bottom line is, a lot of my guys are going through it. They're very, very excited about what they're already feeling. So I'm pushing that real hard, but that's a grant. Again, it goes back to our mental health efforts to keep our sheriff's office healthy. And again, we keep pushing this to our public safety partners because mental health is such a neglected, especially when it's trauma induced. People don't understand it, so they neglect it, they avoid it, or they just can't be real. Well, let me tell you, it is real. I mean, what our military sees, what public safety sees, bottom line is, and this is just another effort of this Heal the Hero Foundation that's working with the Cochise County Sheriff's Office and the doctors out of Phoenix. And we'll have more results for you on that, but this is a millions of dollar grant. To give you an example, if, Grady, you went up as a public safety member, went to Phoenix to do this program, it'll cost you $10,000 just for you. That's what the cost is. Our deputies, our support staff, our detention officers get to do it free now. And so they sign up voluntarily, and then they go through it. And it's you got a life coach, you also got a doctor. Everybody works with you to get you through this. Does it work on everybody? I'll let you know. But what I've heard and what the military is, the results, I mean, you're looking 60, 70% of people that go through it actually have a positive return.
And it's available to everybody that works at the sheriff's office, and I thought that was amazing as well.
It was, and we're trying to get it for everybody else. We are. But there's some private donors. I talked to the director this week. There's a private donor and donors that, if you're not part of the sheriff's office, they can help, and that's what they're doing with some others I know too. So either way, it's a positive program. It's proactive, keeping our public safety folks healthy. That's what it's all about.
Do you have a stop of the week this week?
I do. I had a couple. I was heading to Phoenix this week. You know, it amazes me. Cell phones are still a problem. I'm just going to say that. I see it all the time. I mean, second, put the phones down, folks. Please put those phones down. Second of all, pay attention when you're driving. I had a car go by me just under 100 miles an hour when I was heading to a meeting the other day. Stopped them. They didn't even realize that, oh, did I drive by you? They're not even paying attention. I call it driving their own agendas. And everybody's supposed to kind of navigate around them because they're the most important thing on the road. No, folks, we have to work in partnership on the road. And so I stopped this person. They weren't happy, I'll just tell you. But we stop you for those kind of speeds. We stop you for texting anymore. You can figure you're going to get a citation, or you figure it's not going to be a good day when you drive away from that. Plus, if you're in a hurry already and we stop you, we're going to delay it even more than that. So slow down, folks. And second thing I want to say to you on our safety message is this. I had a gentleman call me this week. We've been talking back and forth, and it's like on this border. And I told him, see something, say something. That's the best community policing message that's out there right now. I know it's a federal slogan, but it works. It truly does work. And we want people. I don't care if it's 2 in the morning, you wake up, you see a car in your neighborhood that's not commonly there, or somebody parked in your neighborhood at 9 in the morning, somebody sitting in the car, or somebody sitting in Walmart that doesn't fit. Call us. That's the best invite we have, because we can get over there, we can look at it. We don't get bothered by that. We want that, because that gives us an opportunity to discover, initiate, and see what's going on. If there's nothing going on, you go back to sleep, we go back on the road, and no foul. But they're doing something they shouldn't do. If they're down here smuggling or doing the introduction, they usually bring their crime with them, drugs, warrants, whatever, stolen vehicles, whatever it may be, then we're into it. So please work with us on that. And again, look for the news next week, early next week, on our operation. I think you'll be pretty pleased with what we're doing.
All right, before you go, let's invite everybody out to Cochise County football.
Buena High School traveling up to Cienega to take on the Bobcats tonight. Pre-games at 6:30, kickoff at 7. Hope you tune in tonight with Jeff Davenport, myself, and Val.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
It's First Watch Now.
Hosted by Public Information Officer Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
On 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and we've got our next guest in the studio from the Salvation Army. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Grady. How are you?
Good. Introduce yourself to the folks.
My name is Joe Farmer, and I'm the advisory chair for the Salvation Army.
All right, and that's a great position. What does that do for the Salvation Army here?
Well, the Salvation Army does a lot of good things for the community. We serve a hot meal on every weekday of the Monday through Friday. We do a hot meal, and then we have food distribution at Hereford, Huachuca City, and 2 in Sierra Vista throughout the month. So a lot of good things going on there, and we have a few things coming up. It's the holiday season, so it's going to get really busy for us.
All right, what do you got coming up?
Well, we got the Angel Tree program for families who are in need with children from birth to 17 years old. And you can speak with Michelle Hahn at the Salvation Army for an appointment, or you can come in to the core building during our open hours, which are 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And the other part of the Angel Tree program includes those folks who want to be involved in helping out those families who have signed up for the program. So later in November, there's going to be Angel Trees with tags at different locations around Sierra Vista, to include the Landmark Cafe, Sierra Toyota, Walmart, and Cochise College. And then as it gets closer, there will be more information available online. We are also excited to be partnering with Rotary and Landmark Cafe for the West End Spirit Fest that's coming up Saturday, October 28th at 5 p.m. And you can donate candy for the trunk or treat, drop that off at the Salvation Army. You can also bring some unwrapped toys or holiday-themed food to the Spirit Fest to donate to the food and toy drive. There's a box handout of Thanksgiving boxes. We're going to have 100 of those to hand out at Toyota. The Salvation Army is partnering with Toyota. That's going to be on November 18th. We still haven't ironed out all the details on that, but that'll be posted online also. And of course, with Thanksgiving, we do our Thanksgiving meal every year. And the last couple of years has gotten so big where we've had to do 2 shifts of that. So we're going to do that again. So feel free to come out and join us. Bring your family outs. And then our biggest event is the Red Kettle Kickoff. So with Thanksgiving comes that time of the year where we have our Red Kettle season and our bell ringing season. And this is our largest fundraiser for the entire year. And we need folks who are willing to come out and ring the bell for us. We have some who ring by themselves, some with their families or their friends. We have groups. We have some churches, businesses, and organizations who will sponsor a few hours, or they may take the whole day to ring. And you can go to our website and sign up by clicking on the link that says Volunteer in this community, or you can call Salvation Army and speak with Eva McElroy if you have any questions. We're going to have 4 locations that will be ringing the bell this year. We'll have 2 both doors at Walmart, both doors at Fry's, and then Safeway and Hobby Lobby.
That is a lot of events coming up.
There's a lot going. It's a busy time of the year, Grady.
All right, so we're at the end of this, we're gonna give contact information for the Salvation Army. So if any of that sounded like something you want to do, then we got some contact information. Grab a pen and paper. But I want to jump back to Angel Tree. You said that the kids' names are going to be out there. Walk me through how it actually works if I want to help a child.
If you want to help someone, what you'll do is you'll grab one of the tags off of the Angel Tree at one of those locations, and it'll have the information on whether it's a boy or girl, what the age is, and maybe some suggestions for clothing, what size of clothing or what toys that child may want. And then you'll go out and purchase those and drop those off at the Salvation Army. So that's going to be, and later on in November, we'll have a day that we are going to either later on in November or December, we'll have a Saturday that we're going to be set up, and the cafeteria area where we do our hot meals is going to be flooded with toys. And then we typically hand out a food box. Last year we had a food box, and we had a turkey that we also gave to those families. That was a neat surprise for them. But we'll load up a shopping cart and we'll take it out to their vehicle. But it's neat to see the surprise on their face and the joy that they get from that, and the folks are very appreciative of that.
That sounds like a great thing. So that's cool. Thanks for clarifying that. And then also your car show, Trunk or Treat, that's coming up on the 28th. We were just talking about that the sheriff's office wants to participate. So I'm listening now, right? How do we get to participate in that event with a car?
Well, I don't know, Grady.
I love that answer. That's a great answer.
But I do know that the Landmark Cafe is heading it up, and they're partnering with Salvation Army so that we can get folks coming in and act as kind of a toy drive to augment some of the gifts that people are going to be bringing in for the toys for the Angel Tree program.
So then what we'll do is I'm going to go find out, and then I'll put it on the sheriff's Facebook page. So that's how everybody can go find out more information about how to be a participant in that car show, because that sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, too.
It does.
All right, so contact information, Facebook webpage, phone numbers, whatever you want to throw out for anything that he's talked about that might interest you. How do they get a hold of the Salvation Army?
Okay, a couple different things that you can do. You can come into the Salvation Army, and I just want to clarify something, Grady. A lot of people, when we talk about Salvation Army or we're out in the community, they'll think, oh, I thought the Salvation Army closed, and the thrift store did close, but we are still open. We're doing a lot of great things there, and we're located at 180 East Wilcox Drive. And that's where we do our hot meals. You can come in if you're interested in any of these programs between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. And then the phone number is 520-459-8411. And then you can always do a Google search for Salvation Army Sierra Vista. We have a website with information on it, and then we have a Facebook page that is updated frequently. And just search on Facebook for Sierra Vista Salvation Army as well, and it'll bring up the Facebook page, and there's a lot of information is being updated as we have the information to add to that.
All right, because you've got a lot coming up in the next 2 months.
We do. Very busy time of the year.
All right, well, we thank you for coming and talking to us today about the Salvation Army.
Well, thank you for having me, Grady.
All right. Also in the studio, we've got from Tombstone Heldorado days, and I understand also the Grand Marshal of the parade, Gordon, is here.
Oh, well, thank you. I guess they're telling me that. It's a real honor to be a Grand Marshal. We're having a very special 94th annual Heldorado days coming up starting today. Actor Barry Corbin will be doing his evening with Barry Corbin Saturday night, starting at 6. Doors open at 5 at world famous Shefflin Hall, right downtown Tombstone. There's still tickets available, so if you get in line early, say 4:45, 5, you might get a chance. There's a very good chance you might have some tickets left. This is a once-in-a-lifetime deal. Barry Corbin is about the biggest star as you can get. He's been in everything I can think of that I like. Along with Barry Corbin being in Tombstone this weekend, we're having our 94th annual Heldorado Days, where there'll be street entertainment. There'll be, some of the bars will be having bands and lots of fun, along with a parade Sunday starting at 11. And come on out and visit the town Too Tough to Die. It's a great place. As you know, Barry Corbin will be there, and we really appreciate your support, and we'd love to have you.
And what's neat about this, and I know there's another name that you're not going to throw out right now, but there's some other surprises that are going to happen this weekend as well.
Well, there might be could be some other stars. Yeah. You never know who shows up when Barry Corbin comes. But we're very proud of Heldorado. It's our landmark event in Tombstone, and we love to see you there.
And you've done a lot of events in Tombstone. You've brought a lot of stars
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And I know you're already working on the next thing you're going to do.
That's right.
So
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so I want to say thank you to what you do for Tombstone, because you do a lot of things in that town and you're kind of behind the scenes. So this is your spotlight.
Yeah, well, we love you, Grady, and we love getting on your show. And thank you very much for that. It's a great compliment, and it's a great honor to be Grand Marshal of the Heldorado Parade and Heldorado event. I'm just over the moon.
And you also are a business owner in Tombstone as well.
I own the Larian Motel in downtown Tombstone, Arizona, so that keeps me busy. And then trying to do an event here and there, that keeps me even busier.
That's awesome. So the Larian Motel.
Larian Motel in downtown Tombstone. And
Awesome.
don't miss Barry Corbin. You can still get in line Saturday night at round 5, and there's still tickets available.
So are there tickets
At Shefflin
available
Hall.
online right now, or do they need to get them at the door at this
There
point?
are tickets available online. Thanks for bringing that up. Until noon today.
Okay.
Okay, but there probably will be some at the door.
Okay.
We're almost certain. So if you get there on 5 at Shefflin Hall, everyone knows where Shefflin Hall is. It's right on Highway 80 in downtown Tombstone. You might have a chance to get in. And this is a once-in-a-lifetime deal. He's 83. He's a great personality. Lots of fun. And he'll also be signing autographs at the Oriental from 1 to 2 on Sunday after the parade.
Excellent. I remember him from an episode of the A-Team, but I've seen him as soon as you Google him, you go, oh, yeah, that guy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's been in everything.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I saw him in MASH. I mean, he's been in, of course, War Games.
Right.
Yellowstone. He was in Yellowstone recently. Northern Exposure is probably what he's best known for.
Sure, yeah.
But it goes on and on.
Yeah,
and
he's been in a
on.
lot
I
of
can't
stuff.
think of an actor with a bigger range. I can't think of a bigger star as far as range and volume goes. I can't think of one.
Well, before you go, invite everybody out to Heldorado Days. Tell us when it starts, what the highlights are, and invite everybody out.
We love Heldorado. It's our 94th annual Heldorado Days. It's starting today. There'll be street entertainment right on the main street of Tombstone. A parade on Sunday at 11 a.m. Don't miss that. Lots of entertainment in the bars. And come on out. And this is once a year. This is our landmark event in Tombstone, Arizona, and we hope to see you.
And congratulations on being in the parade. The Grand
Thank
Marshal.
you, Grady.
You bet. Thanks for coming in and catching us up on Heldorado Days. First Watch on KWCD Country. It's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
On 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. And Gordon, before you left, said, I didn't give the web address for buying tickets to Barry Corbin. So I've got that for you. It's discoverboothill.com. discoverboothill.com. That's where you can get your tickets to see Barry Corbin on Saturday night. discoverboothill.com. And our next guest is in the studio to talk about the American Cancer Society. Hi, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Leanne Schmidt, and I'm with the American Cancer Society Relay for Life.
And that is happening tomorrow. This is a big event. It's to raise money and awareness for cancer and cancer survivors. So tell us about that event tomorrow.
Great. Tomorrow we have our event. It's an annual event we've had for 29 years in Sierra Vista. I'm proud to say that I've been involved with the event for 25 years. Tomorrow our event will start with our opening ceremonies at 2 p.m. We will have Sheriff Daniels there, and also the mayor will be with us tomorrow, giving our proclamation, and also as our pastor for tomorrow. We hope that many teams come out. At this point, we have 28 teams signed up, 173 participants. We have 70 cancer survivors and 35 caregivers for the event. We are looking to raise $50,000 this year. We have almost hit that point. We are $9,000 away from beating our goal. So we hope to see many of you out tomorrow. This event was started in 1985 in Tacoma, Washington by Dr. Gordy Klatt to raise money for cancer research, advocacy, and programs and services. We, in this community, have raised well over $2 million in the time that I have been with the American Cancer Society Relay for Life. We want to let the teams know that team setup tomorrow is from 11:30 to 1:30, with our event starting at 2. At that time, we will have the American Legion Riders, the Tombstone Legion Riders, also CVMA and the Black Horse Regiment will be riding into the park to start our ceremony.
And what's kind of cool is this is an event where you can find information, or maybe you've just been diagnosed or a loved one's been diagnosed, so you can find people that are also in this fight with you. So it's a great event to attend for that. But understand that there's also going to be some welfare checks.
Yes, there will be some wellness checks by Chiricahua Community Health Center tomorrow. They're giving free wellness checks, and they're also doing free flu vaccinations tomorrow. Along with that, we have the U of A College of Nursing. They are doing a study which is funded by the American Cancer Society. In this, they are hoping to get information out about their Equity Center. They are also looking to provide information for coaching and support for those that have been diagnosed with cancer, and looking for feedback as to the most important programs and services and way that they can help to support cancer survivors and their journey through. They have a team also. They are Chiricahua is Strong for their team. So we have many teams tomorrow, but of those, the top teams tomorrow are Northrop Grumman, the Relay Rascals, and Team Periton.
And there's going to be a lot of activities that go along with this event as well.
Yes, we will start off with our opening ceremonies. Then we are going to start off with a team lap this year, our survivor lap, followed by a photo, and then we have a meal prepared for our cancer survivors and a guest by Texas Roadhouse. And then we will start into the fun activities, the interactive activities. We will have theme laps. We will have a frozen t-shirt contest at 4:30. And later in the evening, we will have our Luminaria ceremony, which is a wonderful event to come out and to honor and to remember those we've lost from cancer. And then after the 8 o'clock time frame, we will have our Mr. Relay, which is a very fun and interactive activity, and it draws a huge crowd. Everybody loves that competition for sure.
And then, of course, this couldn't happen without the support of the community and, of course, major sponsors.
Our major sponsors are Periton, the American Legion, the American Legion Riders, and Tombstone Riders, CVMA 32-4, the American Southwest Credit Union, TJ Dirty Red, Lolly's Automotive Group, who helps out in every aspect in this community, the Legacy Foundation of Southeastern Arizona, the Sierra Vista United Methodist Church, SSVEC, which is also a sponsor of this program. Again, Texas Roadhouse has been a great help over the years and a wonderful sponsor, Yucca Moving and Storage, and then we have Chiricahua Community Health Center and the U of A College of Nursing this year.
All right. Well, we thank you for coming and catching us up on this entire event. Go ahead and invite everybody out one more time. Let us know the dates, events, and locations of tomorrow.
Okay. Well, our event is tomorrow, October 21st at Veterans Memorial Park, starting at 2 p.m., the opening ceremonies, running until 10 p.m. Also, we would like to get the word out there that we are still in need of cans and purchase of Luminaria bags that line our track. So if you need any further information today, please contact Tammy Sappho at 520-227-0024, or you can call my name. It's Leanne Schmidt, 520-249-6164, and I primarily work with the cancer survivors, but I am more than happy to help with any questions or anything that I might be able to help out with information for our event tomorrow.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming in and talking to us.
Thank you so much, Grady. Really appreciate the opportunity.
And remember, you can get your Barry Corbin tickets at discoverboothill.com. First Watch on KWCD Country. It's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch with the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
Join us again next Friday morning, 7 to 8 a.m.
First Watch.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Only on 92.3 KWCD.